everyone, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of another weekday. It's a weekday, it's Tuesday, reading vlog. So, as I said, it's the middle of the week and obviously I plan to hopefully do a lot of reading. I'm actually very ahead of my TBR and not gonna lie, I have a very chaotic lineup of books that I'm looking to read for this vlog. But before I dive into the TBR itself, first I want to chat about this video's sponsor. Hi friends, this video is sponsored by ShopTagger, which if you're not familiar is a very handy app and Chrome extension that uses clever technology to ensure that you never miss a price drop or coupon code for any item that you're looking to buy online. As an avid online shopper myself, I honestly have loved using ShopTagger and have used it for many months. For example, I actually tracked this Madewell sweater via their list function for an entire season. It was actually able to get this for just about 60% off during their end of season sale and saved so much money. It's so cozy and so cute. I'm very happy with this purchase. The extension itself is super easy to use. All you have to do is download it as an extension on your Chrome browser, and then when you're shopping on your favorite stores online, you can begin to save items and essentially track when they inevitably go on sale to ensure that you can get the best price and save a bit of money. It's also super handy to track when items go in and out of stock, so if there's a really popular item, you can make sure to not miss that restock. Once the item goes on sale or comes back in stock, you get a push notification or an email letting you know that the item is ready to purchase. The functionality of the extension is also really great as well. You can make different lists to kind of organize all the different products that you're tracking or interested in. Personally, at the beginning of every season, I love to save a variety of items that I'm kind of looking into to refresh my wardrobe or just refresh my life. And you can kind of customize how you want to organize these products. I like to do it by product category. I have one for home, for clothing, and for miscellaneous items. As you can see in my clothing list, I'm kind of very much into green and possibly cowboy boots for spring. Kind of making a spring clothing mood board. I also save items like books via ShopTagger as well. They're integrated with so many of my favorite book retailers like Barnes & Noble, so I save quite a few of my favorite upcoming spring releases to track not only sales but also release dates for books as well. And because I like to make these seasonally, it kind of allows me to make mood boards for the season. It also ensures that I shop a bit more mindfully, and it's really cut down on a lot of my impulse buys. ShopTagger uses their clever tech to not only track price drops, but to also scan the web for new coupons to use as well, ensuring that you're always getting the best deal at discount. It's super easy. You just click a button and ShopTagger automatically scans all of their coupons in their database and applies the one that saves you the most money. The coupon feature is only available on the computer, so make sure to download that Chrome extension to be able to use it. They've also recently launched a cashback feature, and they have so many different retailers offering an additional way to get cash back when you're shopping online, which is really handy. If you guys are interested in learning more, I will leave a link to the ShopTagger extension down in my description bar. Definitely check it out. It's such an easy way to track and save your favorite items online and save a bit of money. But without further ado, let's jump back into the video and chat about my TBR. So here are the 3 books I have picked out for this vlog. Only one of them is on my technical February TBR. I went a little rogue, as sometimes I do. So Words of Radiance, this is really just, I want to maybe start this and just kind of begin the reading process of this book. And then from there, my 2 primary books are probably one, Remote Control by Nnedi Okorafor, which is a short little sci-fi story by this author. I'm a really big fan of her writing. I have another book of hers on my TBR for this month, but ever since this came in the mail, I've been wanting to read it. It centers about a young girl who becomes like the daughter of death. And then I've also been really interested in The Sound of Stars. This is like aliens come to Earth, end of the world. I believe it's set in New York and follows 2 characters that are supposed to, you know, not be together in any way, shape, or form. And they kind of, I think, go on like a road trip type thing. It has to do with pop music and forbidden libraries. It just sounds really cute and a lot of fun. And I know Starla really enjoyed this, and they have great taste in books. So I'm kind of just like kind of hodgepodging what I want to read, and hopefully like something will click when I start the process. But generally speaking, I feel like all of these will be featured at some point. But yes, it's currently like Tuesday evening. I still have a little bit of work stuff I need to wrap up, so I'll check in a bit in a little bit. I still don't even know which of these 3 books I'm going to start with tonight. Again, I'm feeling very chaotic in terms of my reading mood and spirit, but welcome to the vlog. I hope you're happy to be here. I'm excited about it, and let's begin. Hello everyone. It is a few hours later. I have wrapped up work. Actually wrapped up work a couple hours ago actually. Clay's been on a really long work call. He's working late tonight, I think. So I'm just trying to not like bother him. So I took the opportunity to shower. I'm freshly laundered. I washed off all of the chaotic energy I feel like I started this video with. A lot of that chaotic energy is stemmed from the fact that I have no idea what I want to read. I've just carried my entire TBR to the bedroom because I do feel like doing some reading right now. But I'm in kind of one of those reading moods that's like not so much a slump because I feel like reading, but I can't necessarily like pinpoint exactly what it is I want to read, and everything sounds appealing. The TBR for this video I'm really looking forward to. I feel like it's a good range of like epic fantasy with Brandon Sanderson. I haven't really read a short story in a while, but this is one I have been dying to read. So I feel like I will definitely read this whole thing through the course of this vlog. And then, you know, like a sci-fi road trip, aliens and, you know, characters falling in love, like a fun YA sci-fi definitely sounds like a good time as well. So this vlog is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I actually have Thursday off. My company basically requested that we start requesting the days as we accrue them if possible. So I was like, all right, sure. So I took a random Thursday off in February. So that is kind of what is going on. So I'm actually gonna sit down and read now. I need to decide. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe because I'm so indecisive, maybe reading like 50 pages of Words of Radiance, because that's not a book I need to like read the entirety of for this vlog, and then I can figure out where to go from there. But Way of Kings was so good. I read Way of Kings 3 times. I realized the other day, but so good, wrapped up. I'm excited to read Words of Radiance because I believe this is Dalinar centric, and you find a lot more about Dalinar's past and some of the mystery surrounding him. This paperback is so nice. I thought it was significantly longer than Way of Kings, but it's really not. I think just the pages are a little thicker, but I mean, it's definitely like longer by like 100 pages. Anyway, now I'm rambling, but hi, welcome to the vlog. Sorry I'm so scatterbrained. Matilda's here, but I'm gonna sit down and put a reading playlist on and read some fantasy and get settled into this Tuesday evening. Try out a new reading playlist, this dark academia situation. And Matilda, you know, grabbed her polar bear, you know, so she's ready to settle down as well. I just love that the polar bear is basically the size of Matilda. Anyway, reading is commencing now. Great news. I read 50 pages of Words of Radiance, so that's great. And for dinner, I made homemade 3 hours cooking length bolognese yesterday, so we were gonna eat that as leftovers. I basically was stressed, and then I made homemade bolognese. So, you know, sometimes stress results in a fruitful end. Is that what I'm trying to say? But I'm gonna boil some water, heat up this bolognese. Oh, it was so, I'm not to brag, but it's delicious. Also, can't forget the Texas toast. The supreme frozen garlic bread variety, in my opinion. A few Cheetos while I wait for the water to boil. Bon appetit, everyone. Also, I plan to watch the last episode of Hello My 20s, which I'm almost done with, and then I'm gonna start a new K-drama tonight. All right, everyone, I was pressured to start True Beauty, so I'm gonna watch the first episode of this tonight and then do my reading. But this is like the new, very popular show. I think I was a girl who becomes like YouTube famous for makeup, so I hear it's cute, so I'm gonna watch. Hi friends, so episode of True Beauty down, and I'm really liking it. It's charming, it's quirky, it's a ridiculous slice of life, like coming of age, kind of like rom-com story from what I can tell so far. It's very dramatic, and it's definitely trying to sell this whole girl is secretly beautiful but no one can tell because of her glasses, but then she learns how to use makeup and then she becomes like the #1 hottie. But yeah, it's definitely, I can tell I'm going to like it. It seems like it's going to be cute and entertaining, which is all I could really ask for. I'm going to do a bit more reading now before bed. I've already read 50 pages tonight, which I think is pretty solid, to be honest. And Words of Radiance. So the thing about this series, the Stormlight Archives, which I think is impressive, is that it's obviously long. Like, all the books are really long, and there's this continual sense of buildup, like this foreboding, this sort of uneasiness that there's some sort of larger unknown conflict that everyone is kind of ignoring coming, combining with the fact, like, obviously I just finished the first one, I barely started the second one, but there's this sort of question mark too about the current conflict that's not even a mystery, right? There's been this war of revenge going on between the Athleki, which is most of our primary POVs are part of this group of people, and the Proshendi. But the Athleki don't really know anything about the Proshendi. They don't know anything about their culture. They don't even really understand their motivations for fighting. They don't even know how they communicate. But near the tail end of Way of Kings and throughout Words of Radiance, especially because we have more chapters with Dalinar and he's very politically powerful within this world, we do get a bit of more of a view into the Proshendi, and I recall that being one of my favorite elements explored within the second one and into the third one. The world just continues to kind of grow and grow and grow and grow within the second and third book. Also, character storylines begin to intersect, which is always incredibly satisfying. But yeah, just to kind of wrap up, tail end of Way of Kings, very, very good. Like, the build up, there's kind of like this anxiety in build up, like it's slow going, but like not boring. It's more just like pieces take a while to place and to plot out. So when things do ultimately come, it's very satisfying, which is kind of usually my favorite component of epic fantasy, and why I love it so much is because there's just so much detail and time and care as we're kind of getting to the plot, or to like major plot moments, that when you get there, it's like, yes, like you're very, very invested. I'm gonna do some more reading now. I'm gonna try to get to page 100 tonight and have 100 pages knocked off my TBR, and then tomorrow I'll probably switch books and either start Remote Control or Sound of Stars. I still don't know which I'm gonna read first, but I'll start one of those. But yeah, good night everyone. True Beauty, so cute. It's making me like want to watch YouTube makeup videos, or like skincare videos. It's a whole rabbit hole I could go down, but anyway, good night. Matilda, where's your bowl? If anyone was wondering what it's like to feed Matilda every morning, it usually involves finding where she left her bowl and then her doing a dead sprint every day. Also proud to show off, I got dressed today. Look at that. Jeans, a sweater, even threw on a headband for prosperity. Awesome. I was able to read 100 pages last night, and I am fully prepared now to switch books. And I think I'm going to read Remote Control next, so huzzah. I love when Millie just lounges in the sun. It's my favorite thing that she does. And then she gets concerned when I get up, but then she'll slowly just fall back asleep. But so far, this has actually been a really nice work day. It's one of those days where I don't have a lot of meetings, so I'm actually able to get things done and not feel like super rushed or like I'm trying to do things between, you know, like between meetings basically. But I am going to make myself some ramen for lunch. Would you believe me if I told you that I ate 2 really nice like handcrafted lunches the past 2 days, but you just weren't there to see them. And so now I'm vlogging and I'm eating ramen and also spilling a lot of stuff. But you know, sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. I'm excited for this. I'm gonna throw an egg in it. It's gonna be so good. But anyway, okay. Bye, I'm gonna make this. Glorious. It's time for more coffee. Nothing beats a fresh pot. You know what I'm saying? Also, I'm gonna take a bit of an afternoon break and do some reading. I'm gonna start Remote Control. I've decided to pick this up first because I feel like I can finish this today, and I've been really, really looking forward to it ever since I saw it being released. It's about 150 pages, but it's a small book, so I feel like I'll be able to fly through this. Zendia Korafor is one of my favorite writers. Her worlds and just like her fantasies are so vivid and imaginative, and they're just full of such life. Like her just atmosphere, so good. So I feel like this short story is gonna blow me away. I just have a feeling. Plus the topic of this short story really intrigues me. So I'm gonna read a bit of it now, and then I'll give you guys kind of an overview of what it's about. But time to enjoy my cup of coffee and do some reading. Hi friends, coffee break is over, but I'm actually excited to say I've read 60 pages of Remote Control. And wow, this book has definitely gripped me very quickly. Obviously it's short, so it's moving really fast. And it's so interesting so far. The book opens on our main character, Sankofa, and she basically is a traveler, and it seems that she is associated with death in some capacity, and she's almost become a walking legend of sorts. Towns, people, everyone knows about her in Ghana. And when she visits a town, like there are certain expectations, like she can ask for things and items to help her on her journey. And she also, I think, can help shepherd people to death. Ultimately though, Sankofa is on a bit of a quest herself. Basically, the first chapter is Sankofa when she's 14, walking and visiting a town, but then we jump back to her childhood where her other life was when she was named Fatima, and she basically has forgotten everything about her childhood, but she knows that she's trying to find this one particular item that fell from the sky, which I think kind of set her on this path. And in hopes of finding this item, she'll be able to find answers about herself and her family and sort of why she kind of was transformed into this figure of Sankofa. It's really beautifully written, as I was expecting it to be. It's moving at a wonderful pace. This kind of has a vibe of just like a tale frozen in time. It has a folklore, mythological quality to it. Sankofa herself references mythological gods from Artemis to Hermes, and in fact she kind of feels like she embodies this sort of traveler-like god. Also, astronomy is a big component of this book too. So combining this sort of like supernatural element though, there's also this like sci-fi element that I feel like is kind of brimming under the surface. Again, I've only read 60 pages, but the book itself is only 150-ish pages, so I am almost at the halfway mark. But it's just, it feels like a time capsule, and it's just so good. And like, even if we're just momentarily part of this journey, like, the writing is everything, and I'm just really liking it so far. So yeah, 60 pages have been read. I'll definitely be able to finish this tonight, but just wanted to give you an update. Unrelated to everything reading, I wanted to do that TikTok thing where you see how many imaginary treats you can give your dog until they like just stop falling for it. So I thought we would do a little test here. Millie, do you want a treat? 1, 2, 3, 5. I'm already feeling bad. You don't want the treat? Alright, I'm gonna give her a real treat. Well, we got to 7. I've changed into comfortable clothes because I'm about to close up shop for the night. And I think I'm going to have ice cream before dinner, because that's the kind of decisions you can make when you're an adult. So, you know. Oh yes, celebrating on this Wednesday. Context for all that chopping footage you just watched, I'm making steak fajitas, burritos actually, but I'm making like marinated steak and sauteed veggies, and we're gonna make burritos tonight. We're gonna eat this tonight and tomorrow. I'll probably cook everything tonight and just reheat it, but because I have tomorrow off, tonight's like my Friday, so you know, I'm just making a tasty little meal. I'm gonna watch so much True Beauty. Clay had a conference call, so I needed to be out of the way because he was like leading a call. It was like a video call. We live in a small apartment, so I had to like hide in the bedroom, and I watched episode 2 of True Beauty, and it's just so cute. I love it. It's so endearing. So I'm gonna watch more, but gonna make dinner too. First, cooking some veggies in the same sort of spice mixture I marinated the steak in. I'm also got the beans ready, vital component. You just kind of put everything together. Let's see if I can remember how to roll a burrito, but then roll her up and it's done. All right, dinner is consumed. I'm about to watch more True Beauty before reading, but Clay went to our local Japanese mart and he bought me some new ramens to try. A lot of them are very spicy, which I'm a little scared about, but look at all these. Look at all these. So I'm excited, and Pocky, which I'm gonna snack on now because Pocky is delicious. But it's True Beauty time. It's so fun. I'm just texting Monica like all my thoughts and feelings. It's so cute. I feel like it's a really good K-drama to start with too. Not that I'm an expert. I have only seen like 6 K-dramas, so what do I know? But I'm liking it a lot so far, and it's really popular, so a lot of people are talking about it. So it might be a fun one to check out, I guess is all I'm saying. Plus all the makeup talk is a lot of fun too. Hello world. So I have finished watching True Beauty. I have now seen through episode 4. I'm trying to catch up to episode 7, and then Monica and I are gonna start watching together. So I got sidetracked by that, and then I didn't want to disturb Matilda. She was laying on me, so I just sat for like 20 minutes because I didn't want to disturb her sleep. But then I got up, brushed my teeth, got ready for bed, and now I'm going to finish Remote Control by Nnedi Okorafor. This book is really interesting. I guess I should say short story is really, really interesting. I went in kind of expecting there to be a direct parallel between our main character in Death and sort of a literal fashion, some sort of like trainee or like direct connection. But I think that's not so much the case. I think she has an association with Death, less because she's some sort of mythological individual and more that there's been some sort of event that has bestowed upon her some type of power that she doesn't understand and they don't understand. So she's sort of this solitary death-like figure. Like it's more of like a rumor and a disguise than an actual reality. At least that's what I'm thinking. Again, the supernatural element persists, and there's some sort of like just mystery as it relates to her power and a connection to like this shea plant seed. All very interesting and very gripping, and I'm gonna quickly just finish this tonight. Obviously, again, very, very short, but I've really, really enjoyed this so far and would really recommend picking this up in general. But yeah, I'm gonna read the last 80 or so pages I have of this to read. So I'm gonna do that, go to bed, and then start my 3rd book of this vlog tomorrow morning. Again, I actually have the whole day off, so I imagine tomorrow I'll have more like things to show you guys, you know? But anyway, good night. Morning everyone. It's another chilly day in the neighborhood. It snowed last night. So you know, I'm very cozy this morning. But I'm also happy to report I finished the entirety of Remote Control last night. It is 159 pages, and to no one's surprise, I actually really liked this. I felt like for its length, this was definitely a fully realized novella. Going into this novella, I expected it to be more focused on like death as a concept, and while that's definitely present, I would say this is definitely more of a character-led story. Mystery of how our main character Samvoka got her power, in my opinion, still very much remains. It's still very vague, it's still very unknown, like the source and the reason and everything, but more the story is about Samvoka as a character, and we follow her through a large portion of her childhood, dealing with the hand that she has been dealt, dealing with so many different things like grief and loss, but also trying to grow into her own person in adolescence, while again dealing with this unusual hand that's been dealt to her. This was another wonderful example of Afrofuturism, and just reminds me consistently why I loved Nnedi Okorafor and why I want to read more books by this author. I think this might be tied to one of her other works, which definitely really intrigues me, and I want to definitely pick that book up. I just feel like the author was able to pack quite a bit of character development and also just like character work, even with side characters, within not a lot of space. And the whole time I was just following our main character's story, and I was immediately gripped by her and her situation. It was beautifully written, really liked this. I think I'd give this about 4 stars. Thursday morning, and I'm already dressed and productive. It's funny how like your day off, like I feel like I wake up earlier on my days off and like ready to take on the day than like a normal work day. But now I'm going to pick up The Sound of Stars by Alicia Dow. This is a YA, I think more fun aliens come to Earth story. I think it's still a perspective, has a romance. I think there's like an end of the world road trip component, which definitely calls out to me. But yeah, I'm excited to read this. I'm gonna try to, of course, read at least 240 pages so I can read 500 pages over the course of this vlog. I love this cover, it's stunning. So this is what I plan to pick up today. I'm gonna enjoy my cup of coffee though, I think, and maybe watch a part of an episode of True Beauty. We'll see. I also kind of want to make something really tasty for lunch, so I might pop out into the world and pick up some vegetables. But TBD on that one. But just wanted to say hello, good morning. I read Remote Control and I'm now officially on my 3rd book of this vlog, so huzzah. I've decided to make sushi for lunch, so I'm cooking up some sushi rice. I need to actually go pick up the things to put inside of it, but I figured to get the rice on. And then I'm gonna go run and do some shopping. All right, all my ingredients are prepped. Avocado, cucumber, I have seasoned rice, got my seaweeds. Now it's all about the assembly. Not my prettiest roll, but it's combined. It's definitely significantly less work to just go buy sushi, especially because my sushi isn't even that pretty, but it's a lot more fun to make them myself, so bon appetit. Hello, Matilda, but fresh cup of coffee. I'm taking a break from K-dramas and I'm gonna start The Sound of Stars. So I'm gonna pick this up right now. I'm really looking forward to it. Hi. So I've read 60 pages of The Sound of Stars and this book starts out really quick. If anything, I'm really interested by just like the setting overall of the story. So it's set in New York City, and essentially 2 years ago an alien species came to Earth called the Alluri and essentially colonized the world. And for the past 2 years they've basically been organizing humans to make them out of the way, and a way that they've kind of tried to keep everyone in line is to like kill hope and also kill culture. So not only are you not allowed to break the rules, and you kind of just have to like do your job, things like music and books and poetry and art have all been outlawed, and if you are found with any of these contraband materials, you are executed with little fanfare, no trial, no jury, nothing like that. So this book primarily, I believe, takes place in New York City, or at least it starts there, though I do know it kind of turns into a road trip book at some point. But we have 2 perspectives that we read from. The first one is Janelle, or Ellie, and she is a human living in New York City, and she has a secret library, and she knows this is incredibly dangerous. If she's found with these books, she'll be executed. But she kind of runs like an underground book delivery service, and she views this not only as like a small act of rebellion, but also a way to kind of keep hope alive for herself and other people. Just stories are a way for people to escape the current really dark reality of this sort of alien colonization. We also follow Morris, who is a lab created Alluri. So he's viewed within the Alluri as kind of like a second-class citizen, and the Alluri themselves, I believe, like are trying to colonize the entire universe, and they use these lab generated individuals. They like curate them to the local populace of wherever they are, and they kind of use them as like administrative overseers, soldiers, and just overall rulers. They view them as very expendable. Morris has been raised to think obviously in one way, but I think he's kind of unsure about a lot of things. One, he doesn't like how lab generated individuals are treated, and 2, he doesn't quite really understand even why humans are treated this way. And he has a secret passion himself, and that is music. He loves human music. One day Morris stumbles upon Ellie's secret library, and he should turn her in, but he doesn't, and I believe they meet, and that's kind of like where their fates collide and humanity's fates collide, and I'm hoping they try to go in and save the world together. I love this combination of this sort of like, this dystopian dark post-apocalyptic sci-fi-ish sort of setting in America, coupled with these very rich like pop culture references with music and books. So it's kind of like humanity's art surviving and persisting even in the darkest of times, and it kind of adds like a cool background. I especially think when they kind of go on the road trip component, like the music I think will continue to grow and grow, and at the beginning of every chapter there's quotes from lyrics and books which are pretty fun as well. But I'm really liking this so far. It's definitely engaged me right away. It's very quick. Like the pacing is quite fast, and I haven't read a lot of alien-based sci-fi, and I'm trying to read 2 this month, and I'm definitely overall intrigued by the setting, and I'm curious how this is going to kind of grow and expand in terms of overthrowing what I'm assuming is the colonizers at the end, but we shall see. But I love this book music thing. The two main characters definitely jump off the page, and I like them quite a bit at the beginning, so I am going to keep reading this. But I've read 60 pages and I just wanted to give you an update. Got to page 100, but now I need to get back to watching True Beauty because I have to finish episode 6 so Monica and I can watch episode 7 together. Hey, so yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading in a little bit, but it's time for K-dramas. Life is all about making complicated lunches to then eat. It's like hidden. I thought this was gonna be really smooth. Technical difficulties, everyone. To make simple dinners. Annie's mac and cheese, friends. Liquid gold, everyone. It's time to feast and read. I'm trying to get past the 250 page mark. I am currently 100 pages into this book now, and so I'm going to try to read about 50 pages before Monica and I are going to watch True Beauty. I'm really liking this book. I do feel like it's balancing like light and dark topics. I would say for the most part it's opened up very intensely. Like obviously the world has been taken over by aliens, but there's still, a holdover of a lot of the societal issues that America had before the aliens came. And a lot of those societal aspects are still very much embedded in the world, even with the aliens being present there. Our main character herself is mixed, and she is sort of kind of confronting reality of the world, where now she's like on the same side of all humans, but like they weren't on her side before, so she kind of has to confront that dichotomy, and that in itself is obviously really weighing on our main character. And on the flip side though, there's a weird lightness that is present in Morris's chapters. Because he's sort of this lab-made individual, he kind of confronts the world with a sort of naivety and also wholesome ignorance, because he's never encountered so many things before, because he's been raised and isolated in a lab, and a lot of like the human experience is very fascinating to him. So watching him encounter things like music or certain books that are so well known to us for the first time can be kind of endearing, but it's also a little off-putting because he is also this thing that has been created to kind of control and take over the world. So there's a lot going on, but as I said, I'm really enjoying this so far. I like the characters. I like both their POVs quite a bit. Particularly, I'm really enjoying Ellie's chapters. But I'm liking it. I think it's really interesting. It definitely reminds me that I like sci-fi, which is always good, but I'm gonna sit down and do a bit of reading. Matilda can't pick what team she's on in True Beauty, but I'm gonna watch one more episode with Monica, eat this lychee candy, and then I'm going to get back to reading.
전화 왜 안 받아? 어디야?
Matilda's tired, but still wanting to party. Or is she playing Titanic right now? I actually think she's asleep, but still somehow dangling her toy off the edge of the bed. Impressive. Hi, it's me. I've read over 200 pages of this book. Well, just over 200 pages of this book, and I'm really liking it. I mean, there's so much to say, honestly. So the road trip component has definitely started, and I feel like when we see or say the word road trip and like YA works, it's like normally like a lighthearted, music-filled journey between two people that the world's kind of brought together in an unexpected way, and that's definitely true for this book, which makes it endearing. But like they're also running for their lives and like traveling the United States to try to escape people who are chasing them. That being said, this journey has provided both of these characters an opportunity to kind of grow and learn about each other, and the camaraderie and the understanding that's kind of developed between them is really, really, really charming, and you can't help but just really quickly grow and appreciate them separately and together. And it's also kind of showcasing that like these two people who are on two different sides of a conflict are not necessarily loved or respected by everyone from the side that they're supposed to belong to. While on the surface, people might judge them for being connected, it's like, can you really even say that? Because these two people as individuals have a respect and an understanding for each other, which like supersedes or goes beyond this sort of, should like supersede the affiliation that these characters should feel for their humanness or their lore-ness, which I really like. And obviously our main character Morris, as I said, because he's so new to Earth and he's been in a lab most of his life, he's discovering everything for the first time, and seeing Ellie and him kind of communicate and learn, and she's teaching him things, is always really entertaining too. I also wanted to mention that our main character Ellie is ace, and there's also a non-binary character present within this story as well. I'm really curious to see how this is going to evolve. Obviously the road trip is still definitely ongoing, but I'm curious because obviously like the setup of this world is really dark with the alien occupation, and their plan for humanity is just it's you know, it's world domination and destruction, and just these two people are kind of like traveling across the United States to try to, you know, escape capture. But ultimately I do feel like they're gonna try to save the world, and I'm not quite sure how that's gonna happen. I obviously am not gonna be able to finish this book tonight, but I am gonna keep reading and try to get to the halfway point. But this book is definitely really engaging, and I think my only criticism with this so far, being about halfway through, is that the plot has felt a little smooth, in that like I kind of anticipated everything that was going to happen. Obviously the characters and the world building and the writing are all really excellent, but I wouldn't say this plot has absolutely blown my mind, but it's been very engaging and everything has been really well written, and so overall I'd still say I'm definitely enjoying it. But I did want to call out that one specific criticism. I'm gonna keep reading. Matilda is here. I've got 50 pages left, and then I'll have read 500 pages for this vlog, and then obviously I'm gonna keep reading this book, and I'll wrap up my thoughts for you guys probably at the end of the month for this guy. But it's definitely pretty cool. I love the end of the world road trip vibes, you know? So anyway, it's getting late, so I'm gonna finish these last 50 pages and then go to sleep. Hi everyone, and welcome to the end of the vlog. The next day, I just wanted to quickly wrap up all 3 of the books I featured on this vlog. Starting of course with Words of Radiance. I'm really excited. I've already dived into this. I've read 100 pages as I mentioned. This one I recall really enjoying, so I'm just really looking forward to reading this entire thing and reading more over the next couple of days. And then obviously I also read the entirety of Remote Control by Nnedi Okorafor. I really liked this. This was a beautiful, very personal story about a young girl through most of her young childhood, through early adolescence, and dealing with a very bizarre supernatural sci-fi power. Great writing, really lovely, really liked this. Obviously, I was also able to get to 250 pages of The Sound of Stars. I've somehow misplaced the book, but I do have the dust jacket here. This, I think, is so much fun. Like, it's an incredibly dark alien invasion story, but the plot itself is really light and really about 2 characters coming together, like understanding each other. It has romance, it has humor, it has camaraderie, and just like a really sweet time between Morris and Ellie, at least so far. It's 250 pages in, obviously with a really dark backdrop, but it just has this really wholesome storyline between those 2 characters. So I'm really looking forward to finishing this month as well. But with all of that, I was able to read about 500 pages, which I'm really excited about. And of course, again, a big shout out to this video's sponsor, Shop Tagger. I'll have, again, a link to download their extension down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another one soon.